being 72. But if, oh, that's right, Paola's 2 years older, okay. So,
Yeah.
and then, of course, Mary.
Mary?
Uh-huh.
You actually told her?
Mary is 80, okay. So she's got me by a few years. But anyway, I'm thankful that I am able to be here and to see you all and to meet, especially the Terry family, my playmate Ruby, Ruby's family, and she's in Florida. And then I'm just happy to see my brother's children for the first time out of Los Angeles and Fresno, California. And then to meet all the descendants of the DeVores and the Kemps and the Strother'S and the Busses. It does my heart good. And so I plan to live to be 100, but 98 will be okay.
I was going to say, she said we were supposed to be talking about them. But what happens is the museum was such a blessing because it's enabled us to find family we didn't know we had. And then to get everybody together for a happy occasion and then put it together like pieces of a puzzle. And when I tell people that my family are many, many different races, many, many different faiths, that the diversity is what strengthened our family because they were able to help people, you know, the white side, they could pass for white. So they could go find the people who were getting ready to be killed or abused and put them out there, lynched.
Our
Okay.
father would stop lynchings.
He would stop lynchings.
Our father and his white brothers and his sons would stop lynchings. They would get people to Augusta, and then from Augusta they could get to Philadelphia or to Washington where we had family, and he would connect them up with someone there. But many times he would hear what was going to happen. And if someone's going to be beaten, and Edgefield was noted for tarring and feathering people, okay, hot tar and feathers. And I know one of the buses went fishing and never returned. His shoes was found and his fishing gear on the riverbank or creek bank. And so now we have the Ku Klux Klan in business suits and shirt and ties. And then maybe at night or when they go south or north to Ohio, they put the sheets on. Howard, as safety director, was very instrumental in keeping a lot of people safe in Columbus, Ohio when they marched to the Capitol in Columbus, Ohio. Howard was the safety director in charge of fire and policemen. And so he's had a couple of careers. And I said yesterday he's a retired Army colonel and a PhD, smarter than me, helped me get my master's, helped me with my statistics when I was getting a degree in psychology. And so I'm really proud of Howard. Howard, it's time for you to say something.
What I wanted to share with you before Serena got the mic and took up half the night, but now St. Clair didn't say too much, but St. Clair has the distinction of calling me frequently from San Francisco to tell me his jokes. And I think I'd like to share one of those with you so you can have some idea, so not corny. If he was a Kappa, they would be real good jokes that you could laugh about.
They were cute, but he would be cute, he'd be the best.
Okay, now, if there are any AKAs or Deltas or Sigmas in the house,
Yes.
I know you want to get your plug in too.
Be sure to write it on something so that we can include that page in the directory too. They didn't finish the printing yet.
But getting back to St. Clair's jokes, and I have to change them around a little bit to make them sound like they're Kappa jokes. They won't be so boring. But this young man had lived a good life, and St. Peter looked down and recognized him, and he says, "You know, I think you've lived a very outstanding life, and I want to reward you while you're living." And he says, "I'm going to grant you one wish. Make it anything you want." So he thought about it, and he said, "Well, I've always wanted to go to Hawaii, but I'm afraid to swim, and I won't fly for any reason." He said, "So would you consider building a bridge from San Francisco to Hawaii so I could drive over?" So St. Peter's thought about it and he said, well, that's a little hard. While I'm thinking about it, think about another wish that I could grant you. So he thought, and he says, well, you know, all my life I've wanted to understand women. He says, they're so complicated and confusing, and I've never been able to understand how they function and how they think. So give me the wisdom to understand the female. So St. Peter looked at him and he says, about that bridge, do you want 2 lanes or 4 lanes?
Yes, for those who would like them, and if you don't have a quilt, I brought quilt pieces that were done by our grandmother and great-grandmother. Yes. So I don't know that I brought enough plastic bags, but if something should happen to my parents, was bring everybody together, and anybody who is in a family, you can't be in the quilt family and not have a quilt. And Dad, you can give them the ones in the plastic bag. If you don't have a plastic bag, then we'll try to get you some. I should have brought both boxes. But make sure you want to have, save a scrap of fabric. If you have children, cut up one of their t-shirts or cut their t-shirts. Some of the other, Benny and Viola. And then we started doing photographic quilts. So the photographs that we have and the people send me an email, we're going to put them on a quilt so that you all can see. It just goes round and round in the family, the whole family. So we have enough because I actually have 2 fabric tins to give away free fabric so that when you leave the museum, you have a memory of having been there, because we don't know all the quilters and all the people who helped our family. Yes, we know, a great one. She is a great quilter, and we actually use her quilt block. Ladies in here that quilt, make a block and send it to us. And we're going to put together a quilt from all the women in our family.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yes, Viola, she already has hers at the museum. She was quick.
Okay.
And it's beautifully done. She pieced to the block. So what we found is that if you piece to the block, the quilts last well over 100 years. Yeah. So our children's children will have that quilt. Did you have them sign the white quilt?
I forgot the white quilt and left it at home. My
Oh.
memory is bad.
Okay. We have a white quilt. Go ahead.
Her mother, but my mother loved to make crazy quilts, and Nora Bell liked to make star quilts. As far as I can see, all her quilts seem to have stars in it. But a crazy quilt, you just take a piece of fabric, any size you want, and you just sew so that it's comfortable to sew them together, to put them together. If I do 65, that's too much fabric to put on the sewing machine. So you do that, it's usually sewn. Pieces are sewn and blocks are sewn on top of the muslin. Then I put the batting in the back and the binding. For those who are.
I have one at the museum that she was making on the CBS Early show, but it's a sampler quilt with the patterns, the directions, and they're African symbols that are a language still existing in Africa today. But not knowing that there were languages, not knowing how intelligent the people are, then people here in America were teaching African people were illiterate, unskilled, pagan, and poor, not highly skilled, literate, and worshiping God. And as you can hear, they were pastors, and I mean just legacies of church after church, traveling near and far of Charleston, North Carolina, and so it's amazing. So if you don't sew, no problems. I said anything that your family did, you need to consider trying it, passing it on. For the boys, go to a blacksmith shop. See what it feels like. See, can you pick up an anvil? Now, for those of you, I brought a guest who is honoring the museum, Nsofa Kosa, if you'll stand. He's from Zambia. He was opened up a tree, right, and the bark was boiled and rolled, but it stands testament to a time, the trees, 4 or 5 trees in Zambia, when men of Negroid origin sold one another. So the wood pieces there are the Zambian exhibition. So he returned from Washington after most of you left today, but I wanted you to meet him, and if you all have questions, then feel free to ask. Put you on the spot here.
Thanks, it's a pleasure meeting all you.
Can't hear you louder.
It's a pleasure meeting you, quite honored. there's any questions, you can ask.
Well, you can tell them what city you're from.
Okay, my name is Nsofa. I'm from Zambia, which is in the central part of Africa. And I'm the managing director for Noko Nut Arts and Crafts.
Say that a little slower.
I'm managing director for Noko Nut Arts and Crafts back home in Zambia. Specialized in wood carving, stone carvings, and weaved products.
So the wood products, the stone products that you saw at the museum, they specialize in those, and they travel throughout and have 1,000.
About 1,000 artists are affiliated to our company.
And what countries do you go to?
We've got markets like in the US and Finland, then in our region, South Africa, Botswana, Namibia.
And when you're at home, what do you do?
Back home, I'm managing director for Noko Nut Arts and Crafts, and then I also run a computer store. I assemble and make computers, and I also run my father's hotel.
Did you say hotel?
Hotel.
Okay.
And so no children have ever, anyone who was, but I did say hobbies or something like that, and then how are you related? And I said, if you can put family friend, we don't care, we love everybody. So anybody have any more questions for us or any comments? If we give copies of any documents you saw at the museum so that your children can make A's and can email us or write us, the information's on there. If you're working on a book, we encourage each and every one of you to write a book. If you do, it can start out a pamphlet, where it can be 8 pages. Write your story for us. Now, Herb Kemp blessed me and brought 1 book. I have had 24 people ask for that book today.
You have.
He didn't bring any more. Well, I have the store. So if you make something, we'll sell it in the store. Yeah, bookmarks. Bookmarks sell. Bookmarks really sell. And you price them. But so I had to tell people to take a card, go to the website. And then I hadn't read the website, so when they were gone, I was up the creek. So is there anything else that we've missed or something you all want to see in a family book? The Strother'S have a wonderful booklet that they do, and so I thought we'll take the information and start.
Well, we do have another phase to our program. Again, who has not spoken that wants to speak? Please come forward. We don't want to miss anyone.
Whoa.
Okay, seeing no hands, seeing no one come forward, then we will move on. We have a little bit of business. People who want to go on the van tomorrow, please put your name on the van sheet. We have a 15-passenger van to go to Edgefield and McCormick, South Carolina tomorrow morning. Be in the lobby at 7:45 till 8. Okay, the next thing.
What
Yeah.
happens if you get more than 15?
Well, we'll have to van them, I guess. We have 2
Oh,
vans.
2 bands. I thought you said 1.
Well, we have one from Avis, and then Howard and I drove a van. And then other people who are going would like to carpool, we can do that. But please meet at 7:45 if you're interested. And if you have signed our sheet, please give Howard $20 for the fare because of the gas and the rental. And I'm sorry I don't have something big enough to take everybody for free. I would like to have a bus, but a bus was $900. And I'm on the fixed income, you know what seniors say, okay? That's me. Okay, next, if you have someone deceased and you have not told us their name, we have a list of people who have died in the last 5 years since we had our family reunion. And if there's someone with a match or a cigarette lighter, if they will light the candle. Saul, you said that you might know somebody with a match or a cigarette lighter? Okay, anyone here with any matches? You mean we can't light our candle, nobody smokes or carry matches? Oh, Kevin, come help me out. Thank you, Kevin. Here's my nephew. Look at that.